YouTube, how's it going? John here at Herman Woodworks, and on to the next phase of getting the tongue and groove boards ready for the overhang that I've been working on my workshop. Anybody that's been following along, that's kind of been a project that's been hovering over me for a while. If you guys are new to this channel, check it out, but subscribe. So what we're got going on here is we're going to take all of these boards, and I need to joint one of the edges. And after I get one of the edges jointed, I'll take them over to the table saw that's covered in a bunch of stuff right now, and we'll get the other side cut and all to the right width and make tongue and groove boards out of it with eventually the shaper over there. So what we're going to do is, all right, so this is going to kind of be a combination of a lot of things. I've watched a lot of videos other people have done. Everybody's got their own little idea. It's a ton of them. So there's no right and there's no wrong here. So like this particular board right here, it is almost dead flat on each edge on both sides already. So more than likely, I'm just going to take that over to the joiner and run one side across, and it'll be flat and ready to rock. I wish I had like a super flight deck joiner that I could just, put an 8-foot board across like this and it would be super easy. But move along to another board like this that's got some partial live edge on it, and this other side, it's going to be hard to tell, but it is jagged. I don't know if the blade when I was milling these got a little wonky, but we got to come up with something to, it'd take way too much time, way too many passes on the joiner. So I got a little system over here set up. Let's take a look at that. All right, so I grabbed that exact board I just pointed out. Like I said, kind of got the live edge over here. It's straight for like most of this, but I'm going to be cutting all that off for making the tongue and groove. Now step over to this edge, and you can definitely see, if I was taking that on the actual joiner, that's going to take a while to pan that out. So let me show you what we got going on here. All right, so the way I got this set up, I have this board. It's essentially scrap to me. I had picked it up from some of the cull lumber at Home Depot. I actually honestly don't know why it was in there. Maybe somebody put it in there by accident. My gain. But I checked it with a string. Take a string, run it all the way down, making sure it's not sitting on anything, and make sure that edge is 100% true. And that I did. In case you guys, this one's a DeWalt one I think I got at Home Depot. I think it's like a 40-foot reel or something like that. Used this a ton when I was building the workshop here. So anyways, now that I know that edge is dead straight, I'm going to take this board and sit it on here, so that all of it's overlapping a little bit. My closest edge is right here in the middle. That's where it'll actually just be sitting flush. You don't want to see any of the board underneath, because the object is I'm going to, use a flush cut bit and run it along here and make that match that board underneath. Let's take a look at the bit we're going to use. All right, so all my other flush trim bits had seen better days. And I was up at Home Depot and picked up this guy. It was actually a 3-flute design. A lot of them are only 2. So it's only the 1/4-inch shaft on this is the only thing. I picked up a 1/2-inch one in case I didn't like the way this was going to operate. But got this, it's got a good sized bearing on here. I don't know. I have a severe router problem. I had picked up this guy. It's just an old war dog, but it's 3 horsepower. Especially great for something like this where I'm just going to hog off some material off this piece of wood. And yeah, so we got this set up, and let's take a look at how we're going to do this. P.S. by the way, in case anybody's looking for a number, this is the number on this. It was like, I think it was like 25 bucks. This is the actual 1/2-inch, in case anybody was wondering too. This is only 2 flute. The other one with the 3, hopefully it'll remove the material a little faster. This would obviously, if I was really hammering it down, taking a ton off, I'd probably go with this just because it could handle the torque a little better. All right, I'm going to do a couple of these, but hopefully this will give you a nice view looking right down that, see how that line comes through. Boom, nice and straight. And if you want to double check your boards as you go, I know this wall is nice and true. So I'm going to kick this board right up against it. Nice and straight. These boards are going to look great. And added bonus, everywhere where it actually was totally hit. This is just always already flush. I mean, this doesn't even need sanded. Not that I'm going to be sanding it because I'm going to be turning it into tongue and groove there, but yes. All right, YouTube, that was a quick little video on straightening a edge on a long board. Like I said, there's a lot of different techniques. Another one I might go over is with my circular saw and a guide. It's another type of involvement with that one, but a couple tips on it. If you guys do something like this, depending on the bit you use, the bigger the bearing, the better. It rolls a lot easier. The other thing I can say, and this is because I just made the same mistake myself, was don't push when you're pulling back on the router. Don't pull too hard. I did it on the other side. I was pushing. Just let the bearing do the work. Because what was happening was I was pulling too hard, and it was almost, especially if this is just pine and it's soft. It made that bearing mark. So I started getting a little wave to it. So that's why I had to flip it over. I was thinking of using this old bit. I was thinking the same thing. It didn't roll as easy. But like I said, that new bit, just let the bearing do the work. The other thing is make sure you got enough horsepower on your router that it's just grabbing and going. Also, that being said, be well aware of the direction of your bit, that you don't enter into a climb if you're going the wrong way. Like this, on this side, I was coming from there, coming down this way, so the bit is grabbing the board as it's going, instead of, if you were going, it'll just fly along, and it's dangerous. You don't want to do a climb cut. So just be aware of that. All right, YouTube, it's been great as always. As you can see, I have a mountain of boards to go through, so I have to get cracking on this. But once again, it's been awesome. If you guys are new, please subscribe, and we'll do another one again soon.